just hit the ball. Just hit the ball. Never mind all this Jogo Bonito, Samba, Brazilian, try to place it in the bottom corner. Never mind all this Macedonian, North Macedonian, Balkan, Balletic. I'll try and place it in the top corner. Just put your foot through the thing. You're playing in Scotland now. Kenny McLean, halfway line, punt it, goal. Most spectacular goal in all of World Cup qualifying. Learn where it is you're actually, and take my advice, by the way. You know, what was saying on Wednesday, what was shouting at the TV screen on Wednesday at Danilo, at MIOVSKI. It's no coming from a place of ignorance. I used to play in the Largs and District Sunday League at Inverclyde. You would hire out the 11-a-side pitch at Inverclyde, the SFA training pitch in North Ayrshire. So I have played, and it was plastic. I have played on plastic. This was only 35 years ago. One of the first plastic pitches in all of Britain, as far as we were concerned. But we played there and I was top scorer 2 seasons in a row for AT May's head office. AT May's head office. We finished bottom of the league. Both didn't get relegated though, because there wasn't another league. It wasn't another division below us. There only was about 8 teams in the whole league, and we still managed to finish bottom. And I was joint top scorer with own goals in only the first season. Well, I think I get 3 goals, but I think 4 goals the second. Capo Cannonieri of AT May's head office in the Larsen District Sunday League. So I know what I'm talking about. Just get it belted, put your foot through the thing. Never mind all this mamby-pamby, pussyfooting about, try to be all technical and that. Where's that going to get you? How you doing, folks? This is your fat egg. Immediate post, Danny Röhl just won 3-0 for the second time as Rangers manager. Only the third time we've won 3-0 this season. Both times for Danny Röhl, it took place in the league, and that's pretty impressive when you consider the first time we scored more than a single goal in a league game this season was the end of September, and he's only taken over as manager towards the end of October. Not bad going at all. Reaction pod coming to you in association with Geezenet. Check out Geezenet Sunday night live, the Geezenet YouTube channel, the flagship show. Being a bit tainted this Sunday night because I'm on it. Ben will be hosting, so I can keep this short. I can keep this post-match reaction pod short because Rangers have done the talking for us for a wee change. But if you're kind of masochistic, a bit sick in the head, and you want to hear more from me this weekend about this game, then you'll get it'll be diluted. Ben will be there to dilute it with a bit of sense, a bit of sensibility. It's a Sunday broadcast. There should be some sort of kind of reference to period dramas in there, but Ben will be there to make it a bit easier on you if you want to check that out. I'm sponsored by Geezenet, and I'm also sponsored by creepy Facebook groups of really nosy neighbours who get together and pretend that they really care about their community to give them the excuse to go and search for the body of a woman they're really glad has been murdered, either because they're jealous of her, because she's attractive, or because they're really excited at the fact they get to be total ghouls and they could claim, I'm the one that found her body, and then they get to be on television talking about how traumatic that is. And they get to the point where they care so much about the community and about that poor woman, and it was her kids. As a mother myself, I was just thinking, as a father myself, I was just thinking what it must be like for those poor kids. And they care so much that when the woman's husband gets put away for murder, despite the fact he will not tell anybody where he's hidden his ex-wife's body, or remains still having been recovered, they'll reenact a bit. Well, they found a fridge. There's a fridge freezer, an old fridge freezer, and a bit of woods. A wee darkened bit of these woods, an old abandoned fridge freezer, and they were, if I open up this fridge freezer, her body could be in there. Oh God, what's it going to be like? Oh my God. And they're all standing there reenacting this thing that actually took place about 7 years ago. Somebody opens the fridge freezer, like, oh God. They think that's how much they care about this woman and what happened to her. Like, they took the photograph of these dog bones, the bones of an old dog that had died, and they sent it to the police forensic folk in a photograph. They'd reenact where they go, are they going to get back and tell us that that's the woman's bones? It isn't, that's okay, but at the same time we haven't found her. That's how much they get. And I think the reason that Channel 5, I think I watched it on Netflix, but the reason Channel 5 probably do those kind of interviews with the Facebook groups that suddenly decided it's their community thing and they all want to get involved is to make me realise that I'm a total ghoul for watching the programme in the first place. So I can't really judge the things you do to take your mind off Rangers. It gets quite desperate at times. So I was in what I told you before. Sorry, I'm so used to having to obfuscate before we get into the details of the game I need to kind of. I don't want to get the bends. I don't want to. I want to do some sort of faffing about, and it is related. It is related. We've won 3-0. You know, my name's Alec Anderson. There must be some kind of way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine. Plowmen dig my earth. None of them along the line know what any of it is worth. No reason to get excited. The thief he kindly spoke. I said, did you not see the third goal we scored and the one that was rolled offside? You really are a stupid bloke. What a performance from him. My name's Alec Anderson. I'm coming to you just shortly after having been sat through in the other room there, although having a few reasons to get up off my sitting position on the sofa to be waving the arms about and jogging about the old living room there, making a bit more room for the Christmas imbibing, because Rangers have just beaten Kilmarnock by 3-0 at Rugby Park in the SPFL Premiership, strangely kicking off at 8 o'clock. And a Saturday night fixture. And that was the thing, I had to get myself organised. I know you're sick of me talking. If you've watched these podcasts, you're sick of me and my solipsisms and just going on about my chicken, the chicken. I like to have a roast chicken on a Saturday, and Rangers being in the Europa League all the time. A lot of my games get moved to a Sunday, so you get a Saturday to yourself. I mean, you could go to another game. Obviously, I used to do that, but I just tend to enjoy my chicken, and I can put it on like kind of late afternoon towards maybe about 5 o'clock, and it's ready for like kind of 5:30 or something like that. And then I can enjoy. And so I could have had it. I could have had it today, but the whole point is it's supposed to be a kind of high point. A high point in the night, and from that point I come down after I get this whole chicken inside you, and it's like, oh yeah, beauty, just sit back and I bask in the glory of that. If I then go to watch Rangers, and all their games these days are so tense, you know what I mean, all these draws we're having, and just 8th minute injury time before we score an equaliser, and that in itself isn't good enough, so it's tension and frustration and disappointment. It's you're not going to enjoy the chicken then. So the day I was going to, because Saturday night's usually pretty busy for me. I mean, obviously I'm really trendy. I don't want to think it's just about the chicken. Usually Saturday night, I am out there. You know, that's it's been a hard working week. Man's got to chill out at the weekend. I'm pretty cool. I'll do a bit of kind of spinning the decks at the Tunnel Sub Club. You know, Fury Murray's got a residency at Volcano. You know, just a bit of Alexander Brothers. You know, getting out on the bit Fran and Anna. Although Fran and Anna, they turn up sometimes and they're up in the cages doing a bit of dancing there. They got the tartan hot pants on, you know. Donald, where's your Donald, where's your just come down for the Irish guy. Just come down. I'm a pretty hardcore trendy guy, and it's all on substances. I'm just to get you through a weekend like that, you know, dabs, bit of sherbet, stuff like that. Refreshers, and later on some Smarties. I've stopped with the Coca-Cola Iron Brew, just the fizzy juice in general, because you've got to be able to take it down in notches, or else you're just going to wipe yourself out early. A lot of my pals just they went by the wayside because they just didn't know when to stop taking the juice. But on a Saturday night now, I do enjoy some Tetleys after 8 o'clock. Oh no, I didn't say decaf. You know, I didn't say decaf. That's no mistake. Tetleys. If you can't handle it, don't be proffering your mug to my teapot on a Saturday night trips if you can't handle a night out at Big Eck that's Connect 4, Scrabble, Monopoly, Cluedo, whole things, Kerplunk. Sometimes I'm a bit too old now for the Twister, and actually my heart can't really take Operation either. That's too much. Bit of Mousetrap, still do a bit of Mousetrap, but Top Trumps, and I used to, it's Hot Rods, American Hot Rods. That is my favourite. Top Trumps. That and the guns, the big howitzers, and that, just German guns and American guns as well. All kind of Second World War, and it was, what was the categories? It was the caliber of the gun, the length of the actual gun bit, the barrel that shot the missiles, and how far the missiles would travel, the armour on the thing, so it could take a missile landing on it. I used to win at that one quite regular, pretty hardcore. It's no, I mean, Saturday night I can be up at like 11, half 11 anyway. I'm allowed to stay up to that time. Friday night as well, if Starsky and Hutch is on, I'm allowed to stay and watch Starsky and Hutch on a Friday. So I'm pretty hardcore, but it's when the Fitbit's in there, the Fitbit's 8 till 10. That's my moment to really to let go on a Saturday night. So it was mucking up the whole weekend, and I said the whole thing with the chicken. So what am I going to do? Because I'm going to end up having my chicken because I'm just so used to it, and it's going to get ruined. I'm not going to get the afterglow because I'll be right into the tension of watching Rangers live in Rugby Park. Some of the games we've suffered under at Rugby Park. It's not going to be enjoyable. I've got to do something that's going to help me keep the chicken to Sunday. Decided just keep the chicken to Sunday. Win, lose or draw at Rugby Park, at least Sunday you can relax, depressed or happy, whatever, but you just be relaxing, enjoy your chicken then, give it the full treatment. I'll need something to keep me going to that. So steak pies. I come up with the idea, get some steak, like Fitbit steak pies. The wee round ones, don't get a proper big steak pie, just get Fitbit sized steak pies, so it's like you would get the Kilmarnock away, Killie pies, all that kind of stuff. Just got me in the mood for it. I thought that's genius, because it's fun enough that you'll have that. Get to them. I had beans last night, you see, my dinner, but I only had half a tin of beans, so I had half a tin of beans ready. They had to go the day. So I'll just have them, a couple of steak pies. Don't have to make chips or tatties or anything. It's fun, it's easy, and it's just good enough that it will distract me from the chicken, and I can put the chicken on. So I go into Morrison's. We'll talk about Fitbit, but this is the Fitbit I'm talking about, really. It's a reaction pod, and it's all part of the reaction. So I got into Morrison's today, and I'm just want to get in there, get it done, get out, and it's busy this time. All the shops and that, all the roads, everything busy at the weekends, especially December, build up to Christmas. Quite a miserable day as well, but I get in there, and I know where everything is. I'm going to go up and look at these steak pies, get the 2 wee bells, a lot of the bells steak pies, that's the make of them. And I get up to the cabinet. They've got the cabinets now at Morrison's. You kind of just lean in and grab stuff. It's the glass cabinet things. You've got to open them, kind of fridge type stuff. It's more hygienic, I would imagine, but it's a pain in the neck. And of course, it's busy. And there's a couple of women standing right in front of me. They're right between me and the cabinets. They're in there first. That's fine. Your manners. You just got to stand back and let them get on with it. But I worked with one woman. She's probably the same age as me. She's like kind of mid-50s, mid to late 50s. The other woman's obviously her mum. She's 80s, I would say, maybe in like mid-80s, and she's got the kind of pimped up Zimmer. It's got the wheels on it. It's kind of red metal. There's a bit of tartan on it, bit of Christmas decorations as well. Some sort of tubes kind of taken into her nose and that kind of stuff as well. But they're getting in my way. They really were getting in my way, and I thought, well, I should move on now. It doesn't look good. You're hanging. You don't want to be that kind of pain in the ass guy who's breathing down somebody's neck as I try to get something in Morrison's. But I knew what I was doing. I'd got my bananas at the bottom of the aisle to go in my cereal. I'd got the salad potatoes, £1 with a Morrison's card, good deal. The salad tatties. And so I was going to get my steak pie. And I was just hook around, get some milk, get the chicken, get the 2 6-packs of crisps that I usually get for Saturday night, grab some chocolate. I am out of there. Just want to get in, get out, SAS around in the embassy style. And this woman's standing there, she's standing there, it's like the daughter, they get the pie that they're after, and the daughter puts it in her basket and she walks away. And the woman goes to, the mum, or the granny, she goes to walk away, but then she comes back, she rolls back, and she opens the doors again, she's looking again, and I'm thinking, oh, here we go, what's going on here? And she's touching it, no, she goes to walk away, I go in, she comes back, she goes, looking at me, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm intoning stuff, I'm just saying to myself, what's going on here? Going to go out. This is a day out for you. This is your day out, isn't it? You're in a home, or you can't go to your own home. Your daughter's brought you, and like, I've got to stand here now. Well, this is your big day out in Morrison's. I'm on business. I'm all business here, hen. I need you to go out the road. So eventually, she moves. I get in there. There's another fella standing beside. He was going to go in before me. I'm like, fuck. So I get in there, open the cabinet doors again, and there we go. 2 steak pies, £2.50. That's the ones I'm looking for. 2 wee round football pie sized pies and shape. That's the ones. Go to put my hands on them, and I just notice there's a yellow sticker on the ones right. They look the same, slightly lighter pastry. £1.50. The ones I'm going for, the steak, the 2 steak pies, £2.50. £1.50 steak and haggis. And I'm like, steak and haggis sounds pretty classy. I like both steak and haggis, and in a pie. Oh my god! But they're £1 cheaper. Like, they're trying to sell me, that there must be something they're trying to get past me here. They're trying to rope me in. I'm not a mug, I'm thinking, no, but no, I want to stay. But you should go with a plan. I'll let you come in and get steak. And I'm thinking, but I'm going to get steak McCoy crisps, but I'm also going to get cheese and onion. Now, if I had the steak McCoy, flame grill, if I was going to ridged, if I was going to have them the night, that's a bit much steak after having 2 steak pies. So if I get steak and haggis, that kind of tones it down a bit. I can still have enough steak consumption within me. By the time it gets to after the game, when I usually have when I'm planning to have the crisps, then I can have the cheese and onion. I'm thinking, then I'm looking down at the other steak, the whole steak pies, like the big kind of family size steak pies, just one big. I'm thinking, why you not just get a whole steak pie? Why not just get that? That's there's more to it. There's more. It's going to be. I think no, but that's something you could have on a Sunday. You could really enjoy a steak pie. Steak pie is a proper Sunday dinner, and because it's a full size steak pie, I'm more likely to actually just think, oh, that is my Sunday dinner. I'll just keep that to Sunday, and then I'll have the chicken on Saturday because I'm so instinctively wanting to have roast chicken on a Saturday. I don't know that's an excuse because I thought of having 2 Fitbit-sized pies on a Sunday. That's pathetic. That's no good. That doesn't scan at all. This is only going to be fun here and now, Saturday, before settling down to watch the Fitbit. You'll feel kind of like you're at the football. It's going to be now or never. And I turned round, there's a 95-year-old guy standing behind me going, anytime this week, mate. Anytime this week. Jesus Christ. My granddaughter's got to visit me on Christmas Day for London. I'd like to be out of here before then. Is that all right? You're slower than Emmy Fernandez chasing an Australian down the wing at Tynecastle. Or Tannadice. He's an older guy. He was forgetting names. In fact, he didn't exist. That didn't happen at all. He didn't say that because he wasn't actually real. I've made that a bit up. But the rest of it's true. So what I'd done was I was judging somebody, and then I was going through exactly the same thing as because I'm like the Rangers support. The Rangers support, except the Rangers support doesn't have an excuse. The Rangers support knows what it says on the stickers and the various steak pies that are available. It's just we just want chicken. We know that there's complications going on because our sporting director gets sacked before Christmas. That's a major move by your chairman. We're slagging Danny Röhl. Some folk were slagging Danny Röhl, maybe making more of this, but there was a lot of impatience to it. It started as soon as he's dropped, but the first time he dropped points at all, and only his 5th game in, but the first time he dropped any points at all, Danny Röhl, despite the car crash he'd been handed against Falkirk. I think the head coach has got to take some sort of responsibility there. Oh, how original a thought. Is that right? Aye. We're running out of folk to blame. Sacked. That's Andrew Kavanagh being more impatient than the Rangers support. That's Jesus Ghoul. Remember Jesus Ghoul? Who was the infamous chairman of Atletico de Madrid, certainly in the 90s anyway, I think when Simeone was a player. They were sponsored by Marbella, and they won La Liga. I think they won the double when Simeone was a player. But anyway, he would sack about 3 different managers in 1 month and that kind of thing. This is Andrew Kavanagh behaving like that. We think we're really impatient as a support. Kavanagh's come in and just went, "Aye, damn right, he's away now." I thought he was going. I thought Thelwell was going to get January as well, but no, it's he's gone. That's that. So we've admitted that this thing's complicated, but we're still just giving it, why we not get chicken? Why we not getting chicken? Why we not getting chicken? What's going on with the steak pie? What's it? Because we can't get chicken, because the squad's crap. And Danny Röhl knows, he knows that if he doesn't do something that gets the right kind of steak pie combination, we're going to starve altogether. He's constantly trying to work out what kind of steak pie to put together that's going to suit this particular weekend. The chicken is Rangers winning the league, and the steak pie is like we probably can't win the league, but you've got to do the best you can do until you can get signings in. And it's not working, but that's the best thing, the way I can link up to things that happened to me today. I get in the house, and I've got Sky Sports News on, and we'd gone 5th without kicking a ball because of the 3 p.m. kickoffs in the Premiership, the SPFL Premiership. Hibs had gone over us. Now, if we win, we'd go back over them. We'd go back over the top of Hibs. But if we drew with Kilmarnock, well, Hibs' goal difference is better than us, so we'd be sitting in 5th behind Hibs before playing Hibs, a week on Monday. At Ibrox, Motherwell's 3-0 win over Livingston meant that we could go 3rd only if we won 5-0 at Kilmarnock. What's the chances of that? Rugby Park, sometimes we're lucky to come out there with a point. But it also meant that St Mirren beating Dundee United. Welcome to Scotland, Rangers players. That's the same Dundee United that was playing like Real Madrid against you the other night. They lose to St Mirren today, but that meant that Kilmarnock had dropped to 10th. And if we did give them a pace in the night, they go down second bottom, so they're more incentivised as well. Kilmarnock, and I'm thinking, this isn't fair. This is saying, But my weekend had already been ruined by the fact that it was an 8 p.m. kick-off on a Saturday night. Just that's one win, lose or draw. Just having to no getting my Saturday night to myself. The one time I don't really want to be watching football that I care about, or any football at all, really. That was already so. It was just a bit of a bad result. Already, Rangers could only stop it getting worse. But I switched on Sky Sports, started flicking through the channels, and Sky Sports 1 and 2, it became really apparent. Suddenly realised this is why it's an 8 p.m. kick-off for Rangers, because Liverpool are playing Leeds United at 5:30 kick-off at Elland Road. I could watch this, I suppose, and that's their vice chairman. He's the chairman of Leeds United with their Red Bull sponsorship in their kit. Maybe I should be watching this to see how I think they're turning it around a bit, Leeds, after having come up last season under Parag Marathi's co-ownership or whatever. But they're playing Liverpool. And the thing is, Leeds United at Elland Road, that is immediately, that's the best result Rangers have ever had in Europe against English opposition. So we should watch this. It's a nice feeling. But they're playing Liverpool, who I saw while they were inflicting Rangers' worst ever result, or joint worst ever result in European competition. Certainly our worst ever experience of playing an English club in Europe. So I wasn't that keen on it. So I flicked on to Sky Sports 3, and it's RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig, my happiest ever memory as a Rangers supporter. They're at home and we lost the away leg. They're playing Eintracht Frankfurt. It's the last clubs. It's the last two clubs. The last club we played in a European final, playing the last club we played in a European semi-final. The last club we played in a European quarter-final. That was Athletic Club of Bilbao this year. That's why we're doing so. That's why the Europa League stuff just hurts me so badly. The fact that I've really embarrassed myself in a competition I was so good at. But still, recent memories, but great memories. I'm thinking I should watch this. Eintracht Frankfurt, though, they've inflicted two of the most kind of painful, one of the biggest ever defeats we had, European Cup semi-final in 1960. The biggest ever defeat any club's ever suffered on aggregate in a European a semi-final of the European Cup or the Champions League. And then, of course, the wee penalties thing in Seville in 2022. Maybe I don't really want to watch this, but then RB Leipzig, Eintracht Frankfurt hit the bar, and RB Leipzig took that ball from their bar and broke up the park and scored against them to make it 2-0 to RB Leipzig. I thought, I'm going to quite enjoy this. And Derek Ray, remember Derek Ray? He's on commentary there, German football expert for Scotland, and he's given it. That means it's now 2 goals a game. Eintracht Frankfurt have been conceding on average this season. I thought, maybe I will watch this. A bit of bitterness. But of course, Kilmarnock's greatest ever moment in European competition was beating Eintracht Frankfurt 5-1 at Rugby Park. And the furthest they ever got in European competition, semi-final of the Fairs Cup, 66-67, they played Leeds. So it was all, everything was just pointing towards as me watching Rangers play at Rugby Park, 8 p.m. live on Sky 3 with my bin already out, because the one thing about winter nights is there'll be, the winter nights means it's dark enough at 6 o'clock. You can put the bin out as a broom bin the nights, but during the summer there's wains kind of skating. They've got the roller blades and that up and down the pavement, and you feel like a bit of an old, kind of pain in the arse. Put your bin out there, it's going to block. So you've got to wait until like 10 o'clock at night for all the wains on. But on a Saturday night, you're kind of half pissed as well. Going to put your bin out, half gassed, and that. It's no good. So that's one good thing about the winter. I don't know if Kilmarnock. Aye, they've got their a Celtic goalkeeper, a loanee Celtic goalkeeper, Bruce Anderson, has scored against us for Aberdeen and Livingston, but no for Kilmarnock yet. Kilmarnock on their longest winless run for 4 years. I'm like, oh great, this is just, I hate all stuff like this. No, I'm totally fatalistic. I mean, Dundee United were on a run of, what was it, 1-1-5 or something, 1-1-6, when they managed to take point. They looked like they're going to beat us the other night. They certainly managed to take 2 points off us already. So we're kind of everybody's pressure-free chance for revivification. That's what it seems to be. But everybody else's party, Rangers, over the last 10 years. But I saw the team. The team was announced, and I was so busy getting my pies, my beans inside me, and thinking, the haggis isn't really working. I wish I'd just got pure steak pies, and answering, talking to a few folk online, I didn't actually get a chance to find out why Tav had been dropped or put on the bench. So only 2 changes for the starting 11. I said in my preview pod that I wanted the same starting 11 as Wednesday night, because they did play well attacking wise, cut out the mistakes at the back. The strikers can score some goals. We'll do well. I said, Jesus Christ, that's what happened. That's what actually happened. But I thought, Tav, why has he been dropped? That's a big shout, Danny Röhl. I could see it coming. I was saying to somebody, I can see it coming because he's definitely been tiring Tav, and I thought he might drop Tav. I didn't think he'd chance it at Rugby Park because he was talking about how he wanted experience of people who'd played in the plastic. So I think it's a bit. He'll probably Raskin that gets dropped next. You know, he's getting ready. He's standing up to the dressing room legacy issues. I think that's what's going on here. There's probably some. It's probably just to let Tav know exactly who's in charge, just in case there's any kind of. He was ill. Turns out Tav was actually ill. If I'd looked up anything online, if I'd watched the Danny Röhl interview pre-match, I watched it at half time. I rewound and watched it at half time, the one I had on Sky. But something about going, big call, big moment for the manager. Has to win this one because it's political. Tav was just ill. He'd been struggling a bit, so he put him in the bench. The other change was Diamandi in for Danilo in the number 10 row. Is that a rotation? Is that a judgment? Danilo, I thought, I watched a bit of the game back. If you Tannadice something, you watch it at the time, kind of through your fingers, watching it live. And I watched a bit of it back, and I was just seeing how much Danilo was running about in the first 5 minutes anyway. But you just remember the miss he had in the 6th minute at Tannadice, and then the one he had in the second half where Gassama pulled the ball back to him. Even though Neil McCann, my personal deity, said that it was actually Gassama's fault for hitting the ball too hard back to Danilo. But I thought, was that a judgment or whatever? Dujon Sterling, he was left out as it wasn't going to be risked on the plastic in his way back from injury, so he didn't make the squad at all. But Mikey Moore, very notably, as promised by the manager, if he came through his first training session okay yesterday, he was going to be on the bench. And he was. Saturday, 8 p.m. kick-off in the build-up to Christmas. Obviously, all the people of North Ayrshire, the ones that don't support Rangers or Celtic, were away to the Christmas night suit because the East Stand in particular, the big stand on the side opposite the main stand, in fact, the main stand as well at Rugby Park, and the Moffat stand, the kind of home end stand, just desolate. I can see them behind Ailey Barber and McFadden and Boyd and Sutton as they're sitting in the Sky kind of temporary studio thing. You see behind, it's just empty seats everywhere. The Rangers end absolutely mobbed and on fire. The Pyro, I don't know if there's going to be any comeback on that as the players come down the tunnel, the very tight tunnel at Rugby Park. The Pyro was lighting the place up red, and it was stinging the eyes almost as much as our all orange away kit, which is total violence on the retinas. But the thing with the all orange away kit is it's really good. It stands out. And the smoke, the pyro smoke as it comes across the pitch like a fog, like a kind of a pea super. It was a real pea super governor in old London town, like Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, a kind of a fog phantom would emerge from in an old black and white film. Charles Lawton or something. He's American, but anyway, it's a lot of British stuff. But he was in. It's thick fog, and our strip sticks out really. But Kilmarnock's kit, blue. White stripes, but they've got the blue shorts and the blue socks on, but it's kind of grey almost because they've got a pinstripe within the white stripe. I think that's what's happening there. Really nice goalie's jersey, Hummel, I think. Pretty smart, the goalie's jersey, but it's kind of almost generally grey. It hides in the smoke, so you can see our players, the Kilmarnock players, are operating under camouflage for the first 5 minutes, so the Pyro might have backput. Scrappy game until the 8th minute. Jack Butland, he's the captain, forgot to mention that. Jack Butland, he is the captain, not Nico. Big call, big shout, big judgment. There's not Nico Raskin. It's Jack Butland. No, they had to fight for it. Fight for the captain's armband. Fight for our love. Fight for them. But he did not shake hands with the squirrel. Now, way down the tunnel, Jack Butland did not shake hands with the squirrel, which sounds a bit like chasing the dragon, a variation on chasing the dragon. You shaking hands with the squirrel tonight. Oh, no, I'm off it, mate. I'm off it. But he's all in charcoal, red and white and blue armband. And the charcoal, the stand's on fire behind him, and he's charcoal. He's got a red, white, and blue armband. The bright pink, luminous football boots with the white strapping around the ankles. He just looks like is our entire stuff. The support that he was standing in front of in those goals, the support that was behind him, he seemed like a microcosm of that entire support. Jack Butland. He looked like a captain. He looked like the Rangers captain. Really scrappy till the 8th minute. Gassama kind of failed. He fouled somebody at the main stand side. Gassama got fouled in the main stand side. Connor Barron picked out MIOVSKI. Header was on target. It was held. But probably been given offside anyway. The 11th minute. Emi Fernandez does a wee kind of Cruyff, Derek Ferguson style turn while he's kind of facing his own goal and got a Kilmarnock player right up his backside. He did the same against Falkirk at that stage last week. early on in the first half. You're thinking, Silky, big man, confidence. Ends up the game's a draw. He wasn't at his best the other night against Dundee United, but he's not scared to go forward. So that's Danny Rose getting the best out of these players. Very silky. 12th minute, Kilmarnock got a cross from our kind of right hand side. Tiffany, Max Aaron's kind of shut him down, and the ball goes in. What's a big fella called? Dackers, and he gets his head on the ball, but Jaden McGowan's just kind of underneath him. He's goal side of him, but it's a total mismatch. It's a physical battle. It's gone to the back post, but because it's come in towards the centre of the goal, so it's a header into Jack Butland's arms. He can't get any power on it. Dackers the Kilmarnock attacker, but you're thinking, oh, this could be bad. 13th minute, lovely kind of switcheroo from MIOVSKI and Diamandi. Let Steele go through into the Kilmarnock box with the ball, but we can't do anything with it. But it's like a nice wee kind of interplay. Diamandi's in the 10, MIOVSKI's in the 9 role. It's a 4-2-3-1 we're playing, obviously, and it's Dio's in the 10 role tonight as opposed to Danilo. And I think who we say, was it Colin Cameron? Always give Colin a shout because he's spot on with some of his observations in the comment section under my pod, under the preview pod. He was reminding me that Diamandi's suspended for Thursday night. He's suspended for Europe, so makes sense to get Diamandi started. He can run himself into the ground knowing that he's got a free week ahead of him. More than that, he'll not have a chance to play until a week on Monday. So ideal showing intent there, and a lovely bit of kind of reading, a bit of game intelligence. 14th minute, Geeze Mah cuts in on the right hand side. Has that left foot swing at it. It's over the bar. I think it's going to put it in the top corner, but it goes over the bar. If he's doing it for the other side, right foot, that's going to the top corner. But anyway, we'll let that go. It's Bajrami. I thought him and Bajrami might change positions because the two of them can play either side, but they're both playing as they've been playing the last couple of games. Bajrami's on the left hand side. Geeze Mah's on the right. Is the either side of MIOVSKI, the centre forward, but not so wide. Danny Röhl likes some kind of half wide, kind of inside forward roles. Conor Barron, 17th minute. Conor Barron, not Tav. It takes for the second time already. And Conor Barron's taking a corner. Strange. That's just mind blowing to see somebody other than Tav taking a corner for Rangers. And Emi Fernandez kicks the corner off his own face, pretty much, while going on his backside at the back post. And whatever happens thereafter, Kilmarnock are through on us. They're basically through on goal. And Conor Barron just absolutely busts his arse basically for the corner flag to get back, just as Bruce Anderson goes through on goal and dinks it over the outrushing Jack Butland, and the ball's just bouncing into her net until Conor Barron. Did he not just take a corner up that end? What the hell? Absolutely, but it wasn't kind of like Herculean as much as Boltian. Usain Boltian. Sorry, it's late on a Saturday night, so I'm usually off my tits on Smarties by this point in time. That's no code, it's Smarties. Substitution, 20th minute. Nedim Bajrami. Third game, it's only the third game in a trot he's started this season. That's him done in. He's on the deck and he's holding the back of his thigh. I don't know if the hamstring it can get kind of tweaked, as we were saying on commentary. As people were saying on commentary, it wasn't doing the thing of crying. That's me out for months. He didn't look totally distraught. I know Albanians don't tend to cry in public anyway. If Liam Neeson's correct what he says about them, but I think he's maybe just pulled it a bit, and it's maybe a precaution. You could see a scar on his leg as well. I think it was just studs for a kind of tackle. Maybe scraped him, but it was more. He's kept holding the back. That was him. He was going off, and Finlay Curtis comes on from. It's the plastic. It's Jamie Murphy, Oscar Cortez, and now Nedim Bajrami. But I'm sure it's nothing to do with the plastic. It's different plastic now. Anyway, it's like changing the Brillo pad. Get a new packet, Brillo pad out the packet. The new pitch at Rugby Park, so it'll be nothing to do with that. But on comes Finlay Curtis, who had been saying, Danny Röhl, I do trust him, totally trust Danny Röhl so far, and the things he's been talking about Finlay Curtis needing to, if he keeps, he'd been injured, had a wee injury, and if he keeps paying attention and training and doing what he's supposed to do, then the opportunity is there for him to get into the team. He's not getting against him, and I'm thinking, but after that miss the other night, by the header that wasn't a header from Youssef Chermiti from 6 yards out, thinking, but Finlay Curtis scores goals. He has scored, and I said he'd scored 4 goals this season if you include pre-season. That's a bit of a mistake, because he scored 5 goals this season. I forgot about his League Cup goal against Alloa, and Finlay Curtis tends to score goals that stop us being totally embarrassed. We're only beating Alloa of League One 3-2 in the League Cup at Ibrox, and he comes on and scores. I think he comes on as a sub in that game anyway, but he scores to make it 4-2, give it some sort of semblance of respect. He scored our first European goal of the season against Panathinaikos at Ibrox, but he also comes on and equalises against St Mirren, Paisley, when we're struggling in that game under Russell Martin. And he's come on in the only two kind of big pre-season friendlies we had in front of a crowd, Middlesbrough and Club Bruges, and he makes it 2 each in both of those games. So I'm thinking, he scored like 5 goals, pre-season, proper pre-season games in the season itself in 3 different. He's scored in the domestic cup competitions, Europe and the league. He's going to be worth a shot, surely. So on he comes in the 20th minute, 26th minute, and clearing a kind of Killie free kick into our box. We see the same defensive frailties as Wednesday night. The ball's kind of scooped a few yards away to the edge of the box. They're using their feet like shovels, the defenders. It's a suicidal pass back into the middle by Geeze Mah. We're just getting out, we're just clearing our lines. Kilmarnock are piling on top of us. Gas just hits this ball straight across the middle of the park, about 30 yards out at the most, straight to a Kilmarnock foot. But luckily, Diamandi had been fouled, so the referee blows for it. We're half an hour in, and it's a brutal game. It's a typical Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. They're long balls, harassing us, physicality, very direct, and it's. I don't know if we could cope. It makes for a bad spectacle as well. As much as the other night against Dundee United at Tannadice, there are no neutrals in Scottish football, but if you were, it'd be a great game to watch. I think this is a bit brutal as well. It's a bit brutal to watch. I'll be just going back to not being able to attack like against Falkirk. Is it going to be all kind of one paced and that again? But I just got to the point. I was noticing that thing they've got at the back of the Moffat stand. And for the last time I was at Rugby Park watching Rangers, I realised today when I saw Rangers TV pitting out a shot of Lovencrant's hat trick at Rugby Park practically 20 years ago. It's 10th of December 2005. That's the last. It was a Sunday game, but that's the last time. I think it was the first game we'd won in like 10 or 12 games or something under Alec McLeish. A lot of draws, good draws away to Porto and Armida Bratislava and stuff like that. But it was we did qualify from our Champions League group off a lot of those draws. Inter Milan, we're drawn with them. That was included in this run of non-winning, but. Lovencrantz scored 3, Kilmarnock scored 2, one of them was by Chris Boyd, playing for Kilmarnock, but that was the last time I was at Rugby Park, and the seat I was sitting in that day was up the back, they had both ends, and up the back of the Chadwick stand, and there's now a wall in front of that. I don't know what that's all about, that bit they've got up the back. Is it some sort of hospitality thing? I don't know. But I was just thinking, that's like, it's the same colours as the kind of salt and vinegar squares, the packets of crisps that is also what Falkirk have got in the detail in their away kit. And this game's 0-0 as well, the same as it was last week. We're not going to get anywhere. And an inspector calls, an actor prepares, a striker scores. A Rangers striker scores. 33 minutes. This goal took 33 seconds from the moment a Kilmarnock player gave the ball away, turns midfield, I don't know who it was, and passes the ball back. It's just kind of inside the Kilmarnock half. It's not very... and we seize upon it, and Finlay Curtis on the left hand side and MIOVSKI have like 25 1-2s on the left hand side of the Kilmarnock box, and that's not really, it's not getting us anywhere, but it's patient. They're trying to suss out any kind of spaces, nobody to cross it, so we work it back. I think Conor Barron's involved, is Raskin involved, I don't know, but we work it onto the right hand side of the box, and Diamandi's in there, and there's about 15 Kilmarnock defenders right on top of Dio's got his back to goal. And the kind of right side of the Kilmarnock 18-yard box, and they've got a hoodie his arm and all that, and he takes a fall, so they back off a wee bit, because they're thinking, this is going to look like a penalty. He gets back up on his feet, and he just pitches it back, just places it back a yard or two to MIOVSKI, who's just inside the box, and it's in the back of the net. It's just in the back of the net. As they kept saying in commentary on Sky, and they're so right, there's no backlift whatsoever. It's just suddenly ping, and you see it. Just that way, like, is that going past the... No, it's in the net. It's revolving round. It's going round the bottom of the wrong thing, the plastic thing they've got these days behind these goals that holds the netting down as opposed to pegs. It slightly lifts and the ball just comes back in the way you're thinking, that's in the net. It's just fucking beauty. It was a beautiful goal. And it's the first time a striker has scored for Rangers since the 29th of October. Since October, 9 games since a striker. It doesn't matter who scores the goals, but we've dropped points in games, and that we can't score in Europe. Really, we've only scored 2 goals in 5 Europa League group stage games. You want your strikers to be getting goals, because apart from anything else, it puts defences in the back foot to know that a striker's on form or is capable of scoring goals, and it gives the strikers confidence. It gives the whole team confidence, and it was an absolute. He just placed it perfectly. There is no backlift. He just puts it. Technically speaking, yes, it is a toe poke, but it's crafted. It is crafted in all the ways I was bemoaning of Rangers strikers on Wednesday night. And the thing is, the last goal scored by a Rangers striker was Danilo's winner at Easter Road against Hibs on the 29th of October. And there's a lot of that involved. The box is absolutely packed this time. It wasn't just as packed for Danilo's shot, but he puts it through a couple of Hibs defenders and the goalkeeper. It's not a clean contact, but it's a deliberate contact. The ball's kind of bouncing, bit of trundling involved. It's not like a swiping shot that goes. It's not a Jaden Magoma, even in miniature. But it's deliberate. It is a crafty goal, a touch of genius. This box was far busier tonight, and it's going through a crowd of players. So the goalkeeper gets a hand to it, but he can't quite get down in time because he's blinded to it. It's just ruthless. It's perfection. It was bloody lovely to see Rangers winning, but also a Rangers striker getting the goal. And for the 33rd to the 38th minute, the next 5 minutes after the goal, Kilmarnock are getting closer and closer. Ibroxonia belting out for the Chadwick stand. Distracts from the fact that we're awful at clearing the ball, as I was saying before. The Rangers defenders are getting in each other's way. They're allowing Kilmarnock strikers second chances, and it all kind of peaks with Bruce Anderson on the half volley on the spin, just from almost the penalty spots. Despite Rangers players being everywhere round about me, he should have scored. To be honest, just puts it past the post. I was talking last night about my Kilmarnock antecedents. My dad and his dad, my paternal grandfather, were Kilmarnock supporters. My dad is a Kilmarnock supporter, but he's lapsed, seriously lapsed. Even when I was a kid, my dad was really going to see Kilmarnock a lot. He was quite happy to let me support Rangers. And I was talking about Johnny Cash, a boy named Sue. We didn't name me Sue, my dad, but he did name me Anderson. I'm thinking this is just like a thing. There's going to be a guy called Anderson who's going to shaft us tonight. And myself being from North Ayrshire and all that, it's just I'm not going to live that one down. It's going to haunt me. But the 43rd minute, Diamandi's got a shot from the edge of the box. It's on target. Their goalkeeper holds it. At the second attempt, it's tame though, and that's it until there's yet more kind of Kilmarnock physicality. It set pieces into our box, and we cope with it. But Diamandi starts getting involved. So does MIOVSKI, though he's not actually doing anything wrong. He's actually trying to calm the situation. He's quite crafty as well. But it's a free kick and a corner as well. And Dio, he's been sent off a couple of times this season. You know what he's like, and he likes to swipe at folk. I'm thinking, is that fine line between he's being cute or he's risking ruining the whole game, risking giving away a penalty, he's risking getting himself sent off, getting us down to 10 men, or number 10. But two different kind of set pieces. But so MIOVSKI ends up getting booked, and you see it's just for a foul on the Kilmarnock captain, Geeze, who's much bigger. Danilo's built like an X-ray. Geeze is, kind of totally losing the rag. Try to basically start a fight, and Kilmarnock players are leaning into their physicality more than they really should. Try to get a bit of kind of physical revenge almost on Rangers, and I think MIOVSKI in particular was happy to let them do that and see them getting themselves sent off. But it's him that gets it. It's a very Kevin Clancy booking, very very foul by Morelos, and and Morelos opening the scoring at Parkhead type of judgment from Kevin Clancy, that one. But Ailey Barber, why did you say at half time that we're unbeaten in our last 31 league games when scoring first? Why did Sky's Ailey Barber have to say that as he went for the commercial break? Rangers winning 1-0 at half time, because number one, it's fate tempting in the same way our unbeaten away from home in the calendar year 2025 is seriously fate tempting. But it's also inconsequential in that it's the draws that kill us, and 4 straight draws, 3 in the SPFL, would totally kill the supporters' belief in Danny Röhl. We'd start getting at least knee-jerk criticism. But Danny Röhl, he won't be surprised by how Kilmarnock are playing, thank goodness. And he said as much to Luke Shanley in his pre-match interview, which I watched at half-time. And I like the fact that he named how he wants us to play. Fast, forward, aggressive. No changes at half-time from Rangers. 49th minute, Diamandi, good ball out from our box and across the pitch to Findlay Curtis, and he instantly loses it, Findlay Curtis, and puts us under pressure again. Diamandi recently fouled by Watson, and Watson of Kilmarnock got a yellow card for it. He now fouls Watson as Watson comes into the box. It's maybe a clever foul because he grabs him outside the box, but Watson persists until he gets his foot on the line of the 18-yard box. Then he goes down, and VAR has a look at it, but it's a corner to Kilmarnock, and that's it. 54th minute, it's 2-0. It's 2-0. A Rangers striker gets a brace for the first time since a Rangers striker gets 2 goals in a game for the first time since like Willie Johnson against Moscow Dynamo in 1972 Commonwealth Cup final. The first time since Peter Lovenkrands against Celtic in the 2002 Scottish Cup final. It's the first time a Rangers striker, a Rangers player, has got 2 goals in a game since Tavernier in 2022 against Dortmund. It's the first time a Rangers player, a Rangers striker, has got 2 goals in a game since, as far as I can see. I've just a quick look in the Mind Palace, quick look on Wikipedia. I think it's since Desser's got 2 goals against Dundee United in our last home game of last season, May last season, May this year. So we beat Dundee United 3-1 in our last home game of the season, and I think that's Desser's got 2 in that one. I think that's the last time any Rangers player get 2 goals in a game. It's a brace for a Rangers player. It's a brace for a Rangers striker. And I get away to Kilmarnock. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do stuff like this. It's lovely, and it's the first time we have scored 2 goals through our strikers since we played Kilmarnock at home on the 26th of October, Danny Röhl's first home game in charge of Rangers when Danilo and Big Chermiti scored via the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. Danilo's been told to warm up. Just before we score this goal, Danilo's been told to warm up. Sky show you Danilo warming up, and I'm thinking, who's he going to come on for? Is he going to come on for Findlay Curtis, who did a few bad moments? And I'm thinking, can he sub the sub? But that was in the air. I just felt as if that was in the air. I thought, surely it can't be for MIOVSKI. They're both craftsmen. No, Emilio Fabro is T.S. Eliot says to Ezra Pound via Dante, the better who is the better craftsman? What one is the better craftsman that's digging us out of this wasteland? Oh God, the poetry, literally. Who is the better craftsman? Is it going to be? Is it Danilo? Is it MIOVSKI? They're both kind of running about the same handful of goals in their tally for Rangers so far this season, but. As soon as I don't know if they were inspired by this, but we then score this goal, the second goal of the game, and it's absolutely sublime. It's a great goal. Kilmarnock are probing. They've got us under a bit of pressure, and then we spring. We spring this. I think it's Diamandi. He prompts this counter attack. We're deep in our own half, just outside our box, over to the main stand side. I think Dio goes in and makes the first tackle. And he kind of breaks forwards, and he plays is it him that plays a 1-2 with Curtis, or does he play it to Curtis? Curtis plays it to Raskin. But we just advance, and it's running about the halfway line. Finally, Curtis out in the left wing, and a Kilmarnock player takes him out really late. Great refereeing by Kevin Clancy, give the man his due, to allow play on. Oh, was he just not going to give us a foul? I just don't think it was a foul. But he allows play on, knowing what they're about to do. He knows Rangers' counter-attacking capabilities. So it was a beautiful counter-attack, and I said at the 6th minute of the game at Tannadice the other night against Dundee United, but we didn't get a goal from it. We just tippy-tappy finish for Danilo, despite the fact he started the counter-attack that I was raging with. And we have the same again, but it's Raskin gets the ball. He's piling towards the command. He sweeps the ball across to the east side of Rugby Park, and MIOVSKI comes in and he takes it. And he cuts inside the box, and he's spinning his marker, the centre half that's come back there. And as he turns, MIOVSKI's got one major option for him. It's on his left foot. He's going to curl it into the far corner. He's going to curl it into the far top corner. And as much as I felt it physically the other night. You probably felt it as well when Bajrami played that ball onto Chermiti's head from 6 yards out at Tannadice in the second half, and you could feel the ball. If you've ever played football at all in your life, and I'm a terrible footballer, I wouldn't even call myself a footballer. Maybe you don't even have to have played football. You can just feel it. You can feel the ball on your head, thinking, "Don't." You see managers doing that in the sidelines all the time. Don't. You're making the motion as you're sitting in the house watching the telly. you can feel the ball in your head. And I think the same way as that, everybody tonight, or certainly myself anyway, I could feel MIOVSKI's just going to call that into the top corner, far away top corner. And we all kind of went with that as he just cut it inside. He cut it inside, just rolls it, and it's like one of those finishes that makes you go, "Oh, aye, that's where he should put it." Only right enough. Aye, that's just right inside the goalkeeper, into the near post. It's like he's rolling the ball about 10 yards along. It's a craftsman exemplary. It's a fantastic goal, a beautiful finish. No hammering it at all. No thought to just put his foot through this. Just using his skills to completely undermine any chance of that being blocked. It was gorgeous. It was actually gorgeous. And his second goal, and what happened next, that as a result of that, 50, a kind of function of that, the 50-50, the next kind of 7 minutes, Rangers just dominate, and it's sublime, and this is what we've wanted. This is just what we've wanted. This is what we need, what we deserve as a support. It's only 7 minutes, really, but it's Penny Arcade's belting out for the Chadwick stand. The Kilmarnock players are going in late. They're kicking us off the ball and stuff like that. Findlay Curtis is testing their goalkeeper from everywhere, and Connor Barron is everywhere. What a game he's having in midfield, Connor Barron. Him, Raskin and Diamandi have got this kind of rotating triangle thing going on. And they're rotating the number 10 role, it seems. And I know it's a basic for modern footballers. If somebody vacates their spot, if you're close, you go in and you fill in. But it's almost like they're rotating for a wee while, the number 10 role, and Kilmarnock just don't know who to pick up. They can't get near us. Every kind of blocked shot is picked up by an all-orange shirt, and when a Kilmarnock breakaway is quickly suppressed in the 62nd minute, but that's it. That period from 55 to 62 minutes, we can all just bask as the Rangers support. It's a big kind of luxurious, luminous, orangey glow of us being 2 up before the hour at a place where we should win much more regularly and rarely do, or we very rarely win comfortably. And things are just kind of as they should be. We're relaxed as a fan base, and we're absolutely glorious as a team, totally flowing as a team on the park. We deserve this. We just deserve that. We deserve more than that 7 minutes. But all the tensions coming out of your body, it's just it's like getting into a bath, into a warm bath. You're 2-0 up, and I couldn't even be bothered with all my usual. Oh God, no! Kilmarnock still got plenty of time to come back. 1 goal, and that's us on the back foot again. This is all up for grabs. I don't even have the energy. I don't have the emotional energy left to worry myself about this. I'm just enjoying Rangers being 2-0 up and romping it. Kilmarnock couldn't get their own half for that 7 minutes. It was lovely. Watch it back. If you recorded the game, just watch that back. Watch MIOVSKI's second goal, obviously, and then watch the next 6-7 minutes after that. It was like, I think I've told you this before, I used to work in the mail room of ATMAs. That's how I ended up playing for the Sunday League team straight out of school. I was only 16 years old. I started 5th year, but I found this job in their mailroom, just a general dog's body, because I just wanted to get money to go and watch Rangers every weekend. I wanted a job that's Monday to Friday 9 to 5, so I could just go and watch the Teds, and every weekend was when they played back then. It was always a Saturday. So I worked in this mailroom, and our gaffer, he'd been a gaffer at ICI, the old ICI. He was kind of retirement age, basically, and this was just, he'd worked with like blue-collar workers, a proper hardened working environment. Here he was, like in an office full of dweebs like me. We used to have to take them. It was the Salkett's post office. I worked in the mailroom, so we just get these massive mail bags. And even though it was like you could walk for my work to the Salkett's post office, the post office from which the viable devices were sent to Neil Lennon. Jesus, so proud, so proud. You could walk there in like 5 minutes. We'd take the car. Have to take the car. The gaffer would take the car because we had these huge mail bags that were going out all the time, every afternoon. And the one before Christmas, the last mail before Christmas, we drive round to the back of the Joe, the gaffer. We drive round to the back of the post office, and the boys are like, "You having a drink, Joe? Joe, you want a drink? It's Christmas. Come on." And he's like, "Aye, we're busy. We're really busy, but aye, quick drink." And what about the boy? Aye. I'm like, I'll have a drink. I was tall, so I looked a bit older than I actually was. And we get up to it, and they bring out the big trolley, the big they usually use for the mailbags. It's kind of this big wooden thing, but it's got the metal casters. And I'm thinking, well, I've had a few cans of lager by this point. I sneaked a few cans of lager. I'd sneaked into a few pubs and got some pints and stuff like that. So I knew about drinking. And it's like, what you having? And all it was Smirnoff, 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 grouse, 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 grouse. What you having meant vodka or whiskey. That's all you're getting. Like, Jesus Christ. And Joe's like, oh, whiskey, and Joe's looking, oh, I'll have a whiskey as well. Please, I'll have a grouse, and I think it was like a quarter pint the guy poured us. And Joe's just like, all right, boys, all the best. And that. And better get back, have a gidgeon. And he's looking at me going, are you coming? I'm like, aye. So I knocked this thing back. And it was like, asbestos, a blowtorch applied in my throat. I thought I was going to pass out. And I said, that 2-minute car ride back to the work, I actually fell asleep in the gaffer's motor. You sleep? No, I'm fine. But that glow, it was absolutely, the rest of the afternoon I was just wasted. But it was like sitting in a lovely warm bath. It was so, and that's what this was like the night. It's just like, I needed that. We all needed that as a support. 2-0 up, cruising, knocking the ball about, just looking like a proper Rangers team. And I say about the 63rd minute, Kilmarnock won a corner. MIOVSKI didn't get a shout. So he could have let it go. And that felt, well, we're back to the usual stuff that we're kind of worried about these days with this squad. But Bruce Anderson, he managed to get a shot in. He's totally unmarked at the back of the box. That's why I worry about what could happen to us at places like Ferencváros or Budapest. Going to Friday next Thursday. But Bruce Anderson, he's a shot. He's totally unmarked at the back of the box. Good save by Jack Butland. He's got another one shortly afterwards. That Jack Butland and Kilmarnock are back in the game. And given his worries, which we always seem to block or clear, Giga celebrates a last-ditch block as well. Big man's getting full of himself now. He's getting in there, committed. That's what I like. These players they've had some terrible games for Rangers so far this season already, and yet Danny Röhl's got them out there confident and psyched and applying themselves. 68th minute, now Danilo comes on for Diamandi. 72nd minute, Stuart Kettlewell, the Kilmarnock manager, gets sent off for kicking a bottle and abusing the official after a ball kind of was blasted at point blank range. It's Nico Raskin outside the box. It wouldn't have been a penalty, and it hits Raskin in the hand as he kind of turns round. I think it was deliberate. I think he has deliberately handled the ball because players, they're athletes. They're professional athletes. They get really fast reaction times, and that was one that looked like Nico Raskin knew what he was doing, but it's not given because the ball's just blasted at him, and his hands into his body. His balls are probably into his body as well, but didn't get a penalty. I think Stuart Kettlewell, it's Kilmarnock are heading to the bottom of the league. He's not got a win in 8 games or something like that. And the abuse he was given, he's waiting for the linesman. It showed you a replay that the linesman's coming back up towards the halfway line. He's just waiting for him. He's just right behind the guy, and it looks nasty. The stuff he's saying to him, boots this water ball, gets in the 4th official's face. The guy's losing his shit, and his players are kind of start doing that as well. 76th minute, triple substitution from Rangers. Tav, Mikey Moore, and Youssef Chermiti come on. It's great to see Mikey Moore come on. Good to know Tav still getting a runabout. And big Chermiti, you got to give the man a chance to get into a good situation to bring them on. MIOVSKI, Geeze, and Finlay Curtis are the men subbed off, and that's pretty brutal on Finlay Curtis. Is he not doing what he's told? Or is it more about Danny Röhl? Danny Röhl said after the game it was a tactical thing. He's wanting to switch it back to, he's wanting to go 3-5-2. He's putting Tav in at centre half, auxiliary centre half, and he's keeping he's keeping Aarons and Magoma on as fullbacks. And you think how the lack of faith we've had in those two this season, the fact that they're keeping a clean sheet at Rugby Park, that's pretty good. But Tav goes on there to kind of seal it up at the back as Kilmarnock do start applying more pressure. And he said that's why Finlay Curtis went off. I think Mikey Moore's basically going as kind of twin striker alongside MIOVSKI. But I don't know if it's more about he wanted to give Mikey Moore, didn't want to give him any more than half an hour because he's just coming back from an injury layoff. But at the same time, he definitely wanted to get him on the park and get him playing before we go to Budapest. So he wants Mikey Moore on, and Finlay Curtis has got to pay the price. I think Finlay Curtis has just got to think to himself, well, if Bajrami hadn't got injured, I would never have got on the park in the first place. But he's not going to think that, is he? He's not going to think that. Getting subbed as a sub is pretty crap. Fashion Sakala in the Europa League final in Seville. What do you think Fashion Sakala would have thought if he'd... Sorry, because we've won, I just want to keep talking. It's supposed to be concise. But I'll not be talking to you again until Wednesday anyway. We've got a couple of free days, so enjoy it if that's possible. What do you think Fashion Sakala thought if he'd won? If Aaron Ramsey hadn't missed that penalty against Eintracht Frankfurt, we'd actually won the Europa League final. Is Fashion Sakala kind of embarrassed that he had to get taken off, or just enjoying the fact he's a European trophy winner? You come on as a sub, get taken off. That's what the manager. It's a tactical thing. It's for the penalties. It's no great humiliation, but it wasn't really. Was it? It was to get. Was it Kamar Ruth that came on for him and nearly won it as well? It was. Bit like me, I suppose, watching Scotland qualifying for the World Cup. But I wasn't at the Denmark game. I wasn't there. Everybody else was going crazy about that Denmark game, but I wasn't there. And I felt a bit not as distant as I felt last night watching. Well, I didn't watch it. I just saw it online. The wee bits. Didn't watch the draw live. I just saw the wee bits online of Trump and the whole. Oh, dear me. I'll just go and say this, right? I'll just say it. Sorry, I'm going to go. We've got another goal to go here, but do you think? I think if Infantino had shoved it up Trump's arse, that trophy, I think Trump's actually said to Infantino before it, "You got to give me the World Cup. I want the World Cup. I want to win that." What do you mean? No, I can't play soccer and but just give me the World Cup because I'm the best. I need to get that. And he's like, I can't give you the World Cup. Then I would actually get sacked. That's the one thing it probably would get me the sack despite everything, Mr. President. No, I'll tell you what I'll do. And he thinks, Infantino, obviously, total scum, venal scum. He knows what he's doing. And he's thinking, and he's dealing with other venal scum here, but Trump is actually just doing it. He says to him, what if I get the World Cup trophy isn't big enough? You deserve something bigger. No, well, get me a bigger World Cup. Because that's what it was like, that peace trophy thing. We know the whole thing about Trump holding the Nobel Peace Prize, and he just obviously, he's scum, so he's like a war criminal on his own country. Never mind what he's doing in Ukraine and all that, and blowing up boats. But he doesn't deserve any kind of peace prize. He just deserves to be, jailed, tortured, executed, whatever. But he's just thinking, but the main thing, I think he wanted a trophy that was bigger than the World Cup, so he's better than the World Cup. I'll do this World Cup thing as long as everybody knows that I'm better, so I get a bigger World Cup, because it is it's like a horrible, not even gothic, just like an AI, incel rendering of the World Cup trophy, just bigger. Isn't it? The hands that hold up the world, hold up the globe. Is it Silvio Gazzaniga designed the FIFA? No, because obviously Brazil got to keep the Jules Rimet in 1970. They won it for the third time, but I don't know why Germany haven't been allowed to keep that's 3 times Germany have won they won the Jules Rimet in 54, but 3 times they've won it. It's the present. The FIFA World Cup, they won it for the first time in 74. The first time that was the trophy. But is that? It's got the hands coming up and holding the globe, the same as the actual FIFA World Cup, but there's something much more sinister and horrible about it. It's actually suited for Trump. I think if Trump would just, it would be a nice thing to watch. It'd be satisfying though if Infantino, it destroys his white trainers. But if he bent Trump over and just pulled his beaks down and to shove that thing up his arse, shove that thing up Trump's arse, then I could maybe accept him getting that. That would maybe let me get back into fully invested in watching the World Cup. It wouldn't have taken the edge off it the way it did. And I think the hands are going up to hold the trophy, to hold the globe on that trophy. If there's a wee button on the base of the peace trophy, the Infantino could, it would press. That would be the one bit that was still sticking out of Trump's arse. He could click that, and the hands inside would turn round. So they were the fingers were pointing out the way, the 3 hands, the 3 kind of brass, goldy looking hands, the gaudy stuff, inside Trump's anus would turn round, and they would be like, the, what is it called, copulatory lock, the foxes and wolves, when they have sex, when they mate, they can't, once they've, ejaculated, they can't withdraw, they can't pull out, because it's to make sure proper, insemination, successful insemination takes place. Like, it couldn't get, they locked on, or like a cat, when cats have sex, the male cat, its penis has got these kind of spines that come back off it, and they're kind of back, so that it really hurts. It scratches like hell when he withdraws, but it's to scrape the linings of the female cat's kind of sex organs to stimulate ovulation. So maybe something like that. It would pull out, it would turn around, it would claw away at his gizzard old innards trump, and if it did get pulled out and his insides would fall. That would maybe get me, because it's like you wait 28 years and then you feel cheap and nasty and complicit when you watch something like that. But I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the World Cup. 78th minute, Conor Barron, he slips it back towards Fernandez or Jack Butland. It's too fast for Fernandez and it's too slow for Jack Butland. It's Conor Barron's first mistake, his only mistake of the night. Bruce Anderson is onto it, but Jack Butland comes out in the D, Jack Butland comes out and he goes slide tackle and wins the ball very, very cleanly. I didn't see what happened to Bruce Anderson, but when he reappeared on the pitch, he'd Christmas presents for everybody from the International Space Station in St London. That's quite nice. 81st minute, Mikey Moore, where he left off for us. Where he left off, Mikey Moore, was scoring a goal in a 3-0 win away from home in the all-orange kit. And that's where he takes it up again. His first appearance for Rangers since that game at Dens Park. A great goal in a 3-0 away win and an all-orange kit. It's Nico Raskin, Conor Barron. Nico Raskin goes in and tackle. Kilmarnock are trying to get out their own box. They're trying to play the ball, and they're just outside their own box. And Nico Raskin comes in and he dispossesses. He nicks the ball away from the Kilmarnock player's feet, and just in the same motion as he does that, Conor Barron comes in and takes it. He takes it away from the whole Kilmarnock defence, and I kind of like Nico Raskin's. This is the thing we're producing, and Conor Barron, I'm in charge of logistics. He comes in and takes it away, transports it away. But Nico Raskin's produced it, and he takes the product away. Nico Raskin, it goes back, I think, to Giga. He knocks it back to Nasser Giga. He puts it up to Magoma, overlapping left back, who knocks it up to. Magoma actually knocks up to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore comes out, he's got his back to goal, but he's about 25 yards out, kind of inside left position, if you like. Magoma knocks up to Mikey Moore, who just spins the guy that's up his arse. Totally spins him, rolls him, and he runs in towards the box, kind of across the box, across the D slightly, and despite all the kind of pawing and grasping at him, he just curls it, right foot, bottom corner. Just a gorgeous goal. Place goes crazy. 81st minute, we're 3-0 up. This is 82nd minute, the Kilmarnock players go in late. On Fernandez and Barron, booking administered. They're cheap, out of order, nasty stuff from Kilmarnock, but it's good to let these players, new players to Rangers, know what's going to happen in Scotland when we start taking the piss. When we start winning, people are very, very angry and they don't like it. 85th minute, I think about it, Mikey Moore hasn't left off. He hasn't taken up the way. How he left off at Dens Park was scoring a goal away from home for Rangers in a 3-0 win in the all-orange kit, but also then having a goal disallowed. And that's what he's done. He's done it exactly the same way at Rugby Park tonight. Big Emmy can't help being big. Big Emmy Fernandez or Silky. He does it again. He goes in there and wins the ball just outside the Rangers box, and Kilmarnock players are bouncing off him. A couple, but he's doing the step overs. He's getting away from him. He's bloody good coming out with the ball. Big Fernandez, Scott Tiffany bounces off him, and my personal deity Neil McCann thinks that was a. He's saying in co-coms he thinks that was a foul. But I don't know. Anyway, Fernandez plays the ball to Danilo, who does that thing. He's running to the left. He's running across towards the main stand from the east stand side. Danilo at the edge of the box, and Mikey Moores runs crossing over that, and Danilo reverses the ball, and Mikey Moores got out in the bylines. It's so fast, it's so silky, it's so skillful. I'm a bit bedazzled by it, so God knows how the Kilmarnock players feel. And Mikey Moores got the ball in the byline. You know he's not crossing, he's not pulling it back to anybody else. Beats the keeper at his near post. A lovely, beautiful finish. 4-0. Yeah, this place goes crazy, and it's us. Neil McCann thinks Fernandez has fouled somebody in the build-up, and I think the VAR officials thought that somebody ran across, I think it was the run of Danilo, and just basically fell over Danilo's heels. They thought that was the foul, but VAR rules it out, and it's an absolute shame, because if we'd scored one, if it'd been allowed, we're one goal away from going third. But we've still got that game in hand on Motherwell, which we'll need because they're doing well, Motherwell. 89 to 90 minute mark, absolutely filthy ankle stamp on Mikey Moore. It goes totally unpunished, almost snapped the boy's ankle. Disgusting. Disgusting and deliberate. He's first getting back from injury and he's getting that. 92nd minute, Jack Butland, as a save down to his left, he pushes the ball across Bruce Anderson as he comes in. The story of Bruce Anderson's nights, that and the fact that even had he put it in the back of the net, he was probably offside. Saturday 8 p.m. kickoffs, I absolutely love them. This is the way to go. We are 2 goals short of going third, as I say, but that's 3 points in the bag. The main thing is 3 points. We've halted the run of draws at 2, so that means Danny Röhl is on 7 league games in charge of Rangers. He's won 5 and drawn 2, so that's to do that. And he's also got 4 clean sheets, Danny Röhl, from this team with this defence. That's quite the achievement. So it's a clean sheet recorded at a traditionally tricky venue for us, on a traditionally tricky surface. We've got a striker scoring 2 goals, and we've got Mikey Moore is back and looking like a guy who could dominate the league. He looked really special tonight, Mikey Moore. This is all on Danny Röhl, because Russell Martin wasn't getting in and out of Mikey Moore. And this is him coming back for injury as well. We don't have that worry. Oh, he's never been the same since that injury he picked up, Mikey Moore. He's straight back. Absolutely dazzling, he was. And more than that, we withstood a lot of kind of bitter, nasty, injurious Scottish dirtiness as well, as well as like a straightforward aerial assaults and a few, kind of tricky through balls and behind us. We expanded on and augmented and underlined all the good parts of that display at Tannadice, the counter-attack and the speed in attack, the momentum going forward, as well as, if not eradicating, certainly ameliorating the defensive frailties we showed on Tayside. A lot of our defending was standing up, not winning headers, but leaning in, not allowing an opponent to get enough purchase on the ball, just the contact. To keep clean sheets with this defence is such a testament to Danny Röhl, and it's his 4th, as I say. This is what this head coach can do. He's ruthless, he's caring, he's demanding, he's sparing, and this is him just getting his bearings. Let's call it, folks. It's Saturday night, and no need for any of my obfuscation, because our team's just done all the talking for us, the Rangers Nation. That's me. I'm just going to go and have that chicken now. I'm buzzing. I'm never going to get to sleep if I don't. I'm just going to get the oven on, 170 degrees. Let's have it. And don't try to stop me. Just don't try to speak. I'm back on it. And I'll be back on here before Thursday, to talk about our trip to Budapest. I hope we got on better than Jim Prado. Oh,